everyone, Casey here at home with Casey. Welcome to Tasty Tuesday. Today is all about pickling. As you recall, last week we talked about the autumnal equinox, which is a time of harvest. It's the beginning of fall. It's where we take all those that great produce and we can it and we prepare it and we store it up for our winter months. Well, in this day and age, we don't really need to do that. But it really is kind of nice to take those summer and fall vegetables and can them and store them, and we'll have them fresh in the winter time when the skies are a little bit grayer. So today, what I want to talk about is the pickling process and how we can preserve our food. Now, pickling is actually just preserving food that is perishable. So you kind of think about those long journeys way back when, where they salted the meats and things like that. Well, pickling dates back to 2030 in India, where they took a native cucumber and they pickled it in brine. And actually, the word pickle comes from the Dutch word peckel, or the German word pokel. And you can really pickle anything. You can pickle meats, fruits, vegetables, eggs, or dairy. If you do dairy, let me know. I don't dare go there. It doesn't sound too appealing, but hey, whatever. So you can either do a dry pickling or brining. So for example, you want to think about the meats, right? Meats, beef and pork, you add some salt and then it preserves the meat. Or there are some vegetables that are higher in water content, and when you add sugar or salt, it draws out the liquids and creates a fermentation. So you want to think about kimchi and sauerkraut. Well, you can also use a brine, and that is an acid in water with some seasonings. And the brining will change the chemical makeup of our vegetables and it will preserve them. So you can it will change the flavor of them, but it won't change the nutritional value. And that's really important, right? Because when we talk about pickled vegetables or fruits or whatever that you have, there's a brightness to that flavor that we can add in those dark winter months, or even right now. I'm doing a fast pickle, so I've got a brine going on the stove, and I've prepared some vegetables. So let's go ahead and talk about how we start. I got some mason jars. Any sort of jarring or canning or whatever starts with a mason jar. Now, my cousin did some preserving of food in olive oil. And she took really classic Italian vegetables, some peas and some cauliflower and some olives. And, she added a variety of things. And this sucker has a shelf life of, a very long time. Today, I'm going to be doing what we call a quick pickle. So what we're pickling today will last about 5 to 6 months in the refrigerator once you open it. So I've chosen vegetables that I like. You can choose any type of vegetable that you want. I've chopped up my vegetables, but you can leave them in spears or, longer. And I really chose vegetables that had a lot of different colors and flavors. So I've got some garlic, I've got some cauliflower, I got radishes, red onion, green beans, jalapenos, because I want a little bit spicy, some yellow bell pepper, and some beets. On the stove there, bringing it up to a boil, is my brine. So as I mentioned, it's an acid in water. So you can use white vinegar, red vinegar, apple cider vinegar. I did a combination of the white vinegar and apple cider vinegar. So I did 1.5 cups of the white vinegar to 1/2 cup of the apple cider vinegar. 2 cups of water, salt, kosher salt, and some sugar. Now you can use white sugar or brown sugar, up to you. The flavor is just a little tad different. And then, of course, you've got your pickling spices, which include or are not limited to fennel seed, coriander seed, mustard seed, cloves, black peppercorns, chili peppers, things like that. So what I've done is I added to my brine mixture, I added fennel seeds, mustard seeds, some red chili flake, a little bit of clove, and a little bit of bay leaf as well. So that's going on. I want to bring it to a boil. So I'm going to prepare my jars with the vegetables. So I'm going to layer it. So I'm going to add a little bit of everything to each of the jars and just kind of layer it up, and just be, generous, right? Because these jars are pretty big. So what you're doing is I'm going for color Now I got some beets over here. Beets will turn your fingers red, so they have to be segregated. I got some nice radishes that have sort of a bit of a sharp flavor. I'm gonna add some of, like, you can really pack these jars in, right? And I'm just gonna kind of mix them up here. I'm gonna add a little bit of garlic to that because this is gonna be so awesome, right? Just have fun with it. Really just have fun with it because this is all about you and what you enjoy, right? So I just have a couple mason jars here. I'm gonna grab a couple of more as I'm building it. But when you feel like you've got enough stuff in there, I'm gonna shake it down. We wanna add the boiling brine mixture or pickling mixture. So what I have here is a funnel, right? So, and it is okay that your pickling spices go into your jars. So as you can see, it's nicely layered. You know, I could probably push this down if I wanted and add a few more things, which I'm gonna actually do right now. Look at that, man. We're pickling. So I'm gonna use my funnel and I'm gonna pour the brine mixture into my jars. Now I wanna leave about a 1/2 inch between the top, ooh, look at that, the top and the lid, right? So look at that. That went pretty fast, didn't it? Woody-hoo! There I am pouring. This is like boiling brine mixture. So just FYI, just be cautious. Now, again, you could take like a spoon, but I would do a wooden spoon. And I have a little wooden spoon here in my drawer of goods. So I'm gonna kind of pat that down a little bit. And I also want to get some of the air bubbles out. So I'm just gonna go like that. But the key here with your brining is to make sure that the vegetables are covered. Now this is a quick brine. So I got my vegetables covered with the brine. I got about a 1/2 inch between the top and the lid. I'm gonna cover them. Here, I got a brine mixture in the air. I'm gonna tighten that lid down, and then I'm gonna set it aside to cool. As soon as it cools, I'm gonna put it in the refrigerator. Yeah. And there you have it. A quick pickled vegetables. Now later on, I could take them out for, you know, when I want a little nutritious snack, when I want to put a little dressing on my salad, or anything, you know, little cocktail party, have some little poo-poos or appetizers. So let me know what you're pickling. What are you doing with your harvest? I'm Casey, at home with Casey. This is a really fun experiment because it's exciting really to create that food that's fun for you. I'm Casey, at home with Casey. You stay well, take care, and we'll see you again soon.